We're going to solve a problem that says the graph of the function f of x equals mx plus b contains the points -1, 3 and -2, -4, and we will find m and b. Now, when you first read this problem, you might think, well, how in the world do I get started on that? But take a good look at it, and you'll see that we can find a system of equations to solve that will give us a solution to the problem. This tells us that when f of x is 3, x is -1, or when x is -1, f of x is 3. And this point tells us that when x is -2, f of x is equal to -4. So that tells us that we can make substitutions into this function, and we'll be left with two equations, and each one will contain an m and a b. So let's go ahead and do that. Using the point -1, 3, I substitute 3 for f of x, and I substitute -1 for x. So I have this function, or I can write it as 3 equals the opposite of m plus b. Now I'm going to use the point -2, -4 and do the same thing. I substitute -4 for f of x, and I substitute -2 for x. Or I could write this as -4 equals -2m plus b. Now here I have a system of equations in m and b, and I can solve that. Let's use the elimination method to solve this, and I'm going to multiply the first equation by -1 so that the b terms will be eliminated. So doing that multiplication, I have -3 equals m minus b, and then the second equation is -4 equals -2m plus b. And I'm going to add, and I get -7 is equal to the opposite of m, or 7 equals m if I multiply both sides by -1. And now I can take this value for m and substitute it in either of these two equations to find b. And let's use the first equation. So I have 3 is equal to the opposite of m, the opposite of 7, plus b. And if I add 7 on both sides of that equation, I get 10 is equal to b. So we have the result that we were looking for. M is 7, and b is equal to 10.